You're watching News 24 Live and I'm Jerusha Sukhthio-Rath. Now, we've been told by our mums and our teachers that you're not supposed to speak about sex, religion or politics in polite conversation. But we're South Africans and that just never happens. So I'm joined in studio by two opinion makers, Bailey and Ayanda, and they're going to speak to us a little bit more about sex, religion and politics. Guys, Bailey, you're just grinning from ear to ear. I feel like you speak about sex, religion and politics a lot.
You know, the thing is, when I got the email about the show, I just went, oh goody. Because the reality is, yes, it's supposed to be the dinner topic that everyone stays away from. But like you said, South Africans, we talk about everything. And we might still be seen as being somewhat conservative, but I don't think that we are that conservative.
I don't think so either, because Ayanda, if you think about the conversations you're having with your friends and your colleagues and your peers.
Sex makes it in a lot of times.
A lot.
Yeah. I mean, like, the guys always kind of like have their own little meeting. Sex is in there all the times.
Sex is in with girls. I think girls talk about sex more than guys talk about sex.
So?
Oh, yes.
I mean, it runs through our heads as men like 20,000 times a day.
I certainly think girls talk about sex more than guys think we talk about
yes.
sex.
So?
Yes, that's a great way of putting it.
Huh. Okay.
So I want to go on to the first topic of the show today, and we're going to talk about a topic around sex that's in the news. It's an article from the Daily Sun. Sex helps make women happy. This is according to a survey. Now, a finding of a survey showed that more than 700 women aged between 18 and 55, that's the survey group, and the vast majority of them said that sex makes us happy. I just think in 2015, why is this news?
Thank you very much. This is what I was wondering.
I mean,
why is this news?
In the Stone Age, they might have like said that, and now it's like no, guys, that's not even newsworthy.
Bailey, do you feel that as women, our sexuality is often underplayed and there is still a perception that women don't enjoy sex? And how?
You know what? I did until 50 Shades of Grey came out.
Right.
I think that was a big turning point for women to then say, oh, actually, we do enjoy pleasure. We do enjoy, getting down and dirty in the bedroom, and it's okay. It doesn't have to be such a taboo thing anymore. We are human beings and we absolutely love to feel good. And sex is one of those incredible pleasures.
Hold on. I mean, the thing is this. I thought women were actually the most vocal about this, that they wanted to be happy, particularly in the sex region,
Right.
And like you say, 50 Shades of Grey was one of the turning points. I mean, I remember being in a car the one time, and this girl was reading something, and I looked at it, and it was like, okay, cool, so she's reading a book. And I asked her, what are you reading? And she was like, 50 Shades of Grey. And I thought, wow. Everybody was reading that book. I wasn't reading the book. Eventually, I got pushed into reading the book, and I liked it.
That's what he says. Eventually, somebody forced him
Well,
to
I said
read
I was
it.
doing it for research, but I mean...
It's a great research point, though. I mean, it's a great research topic. Why would you not want to research sex?
Oh, and I feel like I need to clear that up. Not research on S&M, research on the topic that 50 Shades of Grey was so big. I feel like I need to clear that up.
Your due diligence as a media personality.
Correct.
There you go.
Correct.
Now, I want to have a look at some of this, some of the findings,
Yeah.
and that's as many as 64% measured their self-esteem, femininity, and desirability on their partner's sexual response. Wow. That also gives us a bit of an indication of how us as South African women are thinking.
100%, but I mean, I think it goes both ways. If you're going to be with a partner who's just lying there, that is not going to make you feel really good about yourself, and you're immediately going to take that and go, what am I doing wrong? But that goes with guys and girls. If you're just going to go to someone going, oh, that was great. That's going to make you feel great at all. So I 100% agree with that.
So Bailey, you're saying it goes both ways?
Absolutely.
Ayanda?
I mean, look, yeah, it's a two-way thing, really. And I mean, I feel like when two people engage sexually, there's so much that's being shared, which is subconscious, and personal experiences, South African women, man, so conservative.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Which South African women are you speaking to? That's what I
Do
want
not
to
mention
know.
names right now.
No. I'm not about to put that much dirty laundry out. But yeah. I mean, it's like I don't pull out a club and want to like smack a woman with it when I'm in bed. But I mean, like, a little bit of would
I don't
not
know
be a
what
bad idea.
that is.
I need rigorous action.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, it hasn't happened much.
Right.
I've had to, like, you know, haul it out the
coax
person.
it out, coax it out.
Yeah.
Perhaps you're looking in the wrong place because,
Perhaps I
like
am.
Bailey mentioned earlier, South African women took on 50 Shades of Grey
And
with
a big way.
fervor. I mean, it was
Really?
the highest grossing film in South Africa when it opened.
Right.
We went to watch 50 Shades of Grey more than we watched The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings or Titanic.
Yes.
We got into it.
Absolutely.
I mean, look.
Maybe this will be a turning point.
I think so. I think sometimes some things from people have to be kind of like dug deep into because they're just chilling there. You know what I mean? So 50 Shades of Grey picked out something that was sitting there that women just kind of were waiting for. And it's good. I like it. I mean, I've only been in Cape Town since May, and I've kind of found what I was looking for sexually as well. So
Right.
I'm in a happier sexual place.
Well, high five to you.
Yeah, I'm so pleased that you feel this is a safe place. And the country's watching too, so now everybody knows.
Damn. Oh. Okay.
But I think
it's fine.
women are, you know, when we think of sex, we're very different in the way that we look at sex in comparison to a guy.
Yeah.
So we're far more emotional. I am going to have a much better sexual experience with someone that I'm emotionally attached to than, I suppose, if I'm not all that, well, I suppose I'm not having sex with someone I'm not all that into, but you know what I mean? It's far more emotional. So I think that if you are seeing that the person that you're emotionally attached to is kind of just lying there, then that does make you feel like there's something wrong and what am I doing wrong? And then it does actually dangerously play on that self-esteem.
And you kind of like dial down yourself.
Correct.
Yeah. True on the part that women find sex to be very like emotional. Guys, firstly, we go very visual and then kind of go emotionally afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, this is so interesting, and I want to flip that on its head.
Okay.
Bailey, it's also totally all right for a woman to not want an emotional connection when it comes to
Absolutely.
looking for a partner.
Absolutely.
Except a lot of us are very embarrassed of that idea. So what do you say to the South African girl who is concerned about the preconceived notions put on her by her family or her culture when it comes to the bedroom?
I think at the end of the day, you have to respect yourself first and foremost. So if you want to go and have sex, whether it's emotional or not, that is your prerogative. But then I really think that you need to own that and be comfortable within your own skin and make sure that you are taking all the necessary precautions and really just being responsible about it. I hate the labels. I hate people being called, I don't know if we're allowed to say it, but
Go for
sluts
it, yeah.
and things like that, because it's very unfair. I mean, a guy is never called a slut. So that sort of thing I think is very, very dangerous when you start putting people into boxes, into labels. But if you are going to choose a lifestyle, then be comfortable about it and be confident about it and own it.
And let's pick up on what Bailey's talking about. This idea of slut shaming is a serious one. And we see celebrities like Emma Watson really lobbying for men to come alongside women and say, you know what, I'm a feminist too. And it's not okay. In your opinion, do we need more men lobbying
We do.
women's
I mean,
rights?
for example, so just to touch on my background, I come from Soweto. So for an upbringing for a young black man, from that, sex isn't the thing that is really like spoken about openly. Your parents don't speak to you about it. Either your friends are the ones that are like, having the discussion with you. So you find that men in general are just like, whatever. Women are just there as like sexual objects. Yes, we do need men to do that so that our women are respected. Whether it be public figures, whether it be women who are working to clean our floors or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm using a terrible example for the cleaning thing, but we need men to support women. I have a daughter, and I've realized how sensitive it is to now use silly words to refer to women. Women need us, and yes, I need every single brother out there to say that I support 1 woman, 10 women, or 100 of them. Because when we empower women, we have,
And it
it just does wonders.
It starts at home, exactly like you're saying. I know that people always say, oh, we should be speaking to celebrities, for them to be role models. But actually, sometimes you just need that closer to home. You need community leaders.
Definitely.
You need it. You're a dad. You can change the way that your little girl is raised and to teach her how how a woman should be respected and treated by other men.
True.
So that when a guy who hasn't had that same upbringing says something to her, she's not going to say, oh, okay, well, that's the way it is.
Exactly.
She's going to turn around and go, no, my daddy taught me something else.
And she will know how to protect herself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Bailey, you blog a lot about your personal life and how close you are with your family, and you're certainly very close to your dad.
Yes.
Which makes me think of a very interesting study I read recently about dads who wash dishes and get involved in their daughters' lives are most likely to raise daughters who are more self-confident than fathers who don't wash dishes.
That's so interesting.
Isn't it interesting?
Because my dad does wash dishes.
So what is it that we're seeing modeled in dads who are involved in their daughters' lives, who are washing dishes, who are just braiding hair and painting nails?
Right.
What are we seeing in those dads?
I think it's a very interesting topic because I think that there are roles still in today's society for men and for women. And now, before everyone goes, oh, hang on a second, there are certain roles. But what I absolutely love with my family, for example, and I can really only speak for myself, is that my mom and dad were very, very equal when it came to being at home and doing chores. So my dad was the breadwinner and is the breadwinner, and off he would go and do the work, but when he came home, he'd help my mom cook. Or if my mom cooked, he'd be like, right, I'll do the dishes. Or in the morning, he'll make the bed while my mom's making breakfast. So it's not even about roles being diluted, it's actually about a team.
Yeah.
And so I was raised in teamwork. And so for me, that's really, really important because I feel like a family gets united. Everyone's got their little jobs and their little chores, and everyone feels like they're a part of something. And in looking for the men, or the men, listen to me, the man that I want to spend the rest of my life with, we are a team.
Yeah.
And that's continued today. And I do feel, that my dad was the most amazing and is the most amazing role model.
Yeah, I mean, those like what she's speaking about is very important because the movie, if you want to call it that children watch, that the parents put on is very important because what they see will ultimately mold them into the people that they will be. So if the father's not there, the children learn that there is no father necessary. So, you know what I'm saying? So going into life, they don't know what the strength of a man and a woman or, the two being together is. So it's very necessary. Like, I mean, my mom was alone, so I'm very close to her. So when a father figure came in eventually, it jolted me, I was like, okay, cool, but I know what you are, but I just don't know how to embed you in my life now, And so him and I can sit and not say anything to one another, and I'm not talking about like we're connecting telepathically kind of thing. No,
Right.
I just don't know what to say to a guy who's in my life anymore, So the display of two parents doing equal chores or roles and things is very important. It's very important, yeah.
Now, I want to wrap up this section on
Cool.
sex with this question. Should we be more forthright with our children when it comes to sex? I know my mom, bless her, I love her to pieces, but she spun me a very strange story about how I ended up on this planet.
Pelicans or things,
No, it was-
babies being dropped from the sky.
She tried to do it as accurately as possible.
Yeah.
She failed miserably. She said that when a mom and a dad, only ever a mom and a dad, kiss each other, then the dad plants a seed in the mom's stomach.
So you must have been terrified to kiss anyone.
Right, which I think was probably what she wanted. But then I also thought that a baby was in your digestive tract.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was in your stomach, it was a bit messed up. So should we be having more frank conversations with our children about sex?
I have a lot of friends who are first-time moms at the moment, and some of their daughters are coming to that age where they're being very inquisitive and asking lots of questions, and all my friends are panicking, going, what do we do? And the rule is to always be honest, but to try and keep them still as children.
Yeah.
So be smart in the way that you answer. You don't want to come up with some story of finding it under a cabbage leaf, and children are not going to, children are smarter these days, I'm afraid. And the reality is try and be as honest as possible, but still keeping their innocence.
Yeah, I will agree with you. Yeah, man, we got to be sensitive about imparting the information, because usually I find that like when children come across sex or they're introduced to it, it's also brutal, man. Like I remember watching kickboxing, right? The family's in there. Oh, Van Damme, great. Oh, he's kicking everybody. Yeah. Next thing, this movie came on and no one warned me.
Oh dear.
Yeah. A woman was performing fellatio on a man sitting on a chair, and then they had to like shoo me away, and I was like, yeah, there we go. Now I found out about sex. So please do it in a smart way,
Yeah.
but kids need to know about this stuff because the introduction of it is really like,
Yeah, kids need
Yeah,
to be
sometimes.
educated.
And if you don't do it, another kid on the playground is going to do it, and
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot of misinformation. most
Exactly.
likely.
exactly.